Oh, got me in the mood. Yeah, deep down in the groove. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is how I created Sabrina Carpenter inspired makeup look. Inspiration, not recreation. I start by applying a skin enhancing illuminator on the highest points of my face, starting from the cheekbones to the nose and chin. e.l.f. Halo Glow is not a foundation, it's not a highlighter either. Somewhere in the spectrum of giving you a glass-like glow with a slight hint of BB cream-like coverage. It only works when you apply it to the area with minimal texture and no visible pores. If you were to apply it all over your face, the shimmers and the formula end up accentuating your texture, which you didn't even know it existed in the first place. So strictly on the highest points of the face, and I blend it with my fingers. I will be color correcting my dark circles and hyperpigmentation around my mouth area using a concealer that's one shade darker to my skin with a slightly warm orange undertone. Gone were the days where we used to slap on a bright orange toned color corrector. A darker and warmer concealer gives that initial coverage, and the orange cancels out any major discoloration on my face. The concealer I'm using is LA Girl, and this is not a full coverage concealer, so starting with a medium to buildable coverage formula is perfect because Sabrina Carpenter's makeup is full coverage 70s and 80s disco glam makeup. For me, if I start with a high coverage color corrector or concealer at first, the other base products like foundation and concealer might cake up. Start with a medium coverage and we will slowly build the coverage rather than applying a bunch of high coverage products at first. Now, Sabrina herself describes her music as multi-genre, meaning there is a mix of R&B, country pop, electronic, synth, and disco. And the crazy thing is that we can see all of those elements in her makeup. When it comes to celebrity makeup, inspiration or recreation, we need to create a template that us regular folks can customize it to our features and our skin tones. So that's gonna be step number 1, creating Sabrina's template. Starting with cheeks, it's very bright, it's very popping. Cheeks are definitely giving Barbie glam. Miss Carpenter is a bestie. I said what I said. She loves to rock shimmers and mandatory white eyeliner on the waterline, which will remind you of the 70s disco glam era. Lastly, her two-toned lips is the cherry on top. It's official. She's a lip combo girly. This template will work the best for high visual weight faces, and she looks amazing in a mix of warmer and cooler tones. You can look at her makeup. The blush has cool tones while her lips have warmer tones. You would think that the colors would clash. It did clash on me because I have low to mid visual weight, but on people with high visual weight, the more colors you add, the more contrast and depth you add, the brighter and popping your face looks. After color correction, I'm going straight with the foundation. Sabrina's makeup consists of mainly full coverage matte base. For my dry skin, I do prefer a demi matte foundation like the Nykaa All Day Matte Foundation. This foundation range doesn't have a shade for medium to deep skin, so I'm mixing shade number 11 and 12 to create a custom shade for my skin. With the same brush I applied color corrector, I'm buffing the foundation all over my face. Let's take a break from the face. We are going to start with a beige eyeshadow to neutralize my eyelids. Beige eyeshadow from Pigment Play Hero eyeshadow palette. With a fluffy eyeshadow brush, I buffed it all over my eyelids. For the glitz and glam, I chose the Swiss Beauty Lustre eyeshadow palette. I already own a warmer toned variant. I really liked it, especially the metallic shimmers in this palette are bomb AF. Feels like feather on the lids and blends seamlessly. I don't wear warmer tones that often and pink is my favorite color, so I thought why not try the cool toned variant. Because the mattes and the shimmers in this palette are quite pigmented, I used a very light hand to apply the shadows. I took this matte rosy pink color and I buffed it above the crease. When it comes to colors in general, I have to work with a very light hand and build the saturation in layers because I have low to mid visual weight. I'm not saying colors don't look appealing on me. That's not what I'm saying. Too much of high contrast and saturated colors will overshadow my features and take away that inbuilt beauty. Instead of boosting what I already have with any makeup look, my favorite part is applying shimmers. I'm a fan of Swiss Beauty shimmers, and because they're ultra pigmented, I took a very little product and I dabbed it on the eyelids. This is a rose gold shimmer from the same palette. I go back with the matte rosy color and I reapply this color above my crease to balance the freshly applied shimmers on the lids. Sabrina Carpenter's makeup is either too loud or a little less noisy. It's not calm. It's not your usual boring glam. It's either loud or louder. Her signature disco Barbie glam is the louder version. You already know where I'm going with this. Bring in the scattered shimmers, baby. This palette has a reflective, the scattered shimmers finish we love. That kind of a formula. This is more reflective and sparkly compared to the rose gold shimmer I just applied. I first take the shimmers and I dab it on the back of my hands first, and then I dab it again on the inner crease area. I consider eyeliner to be that element in a makeup look that can either break it or make it. All because we have different eye shapes. The type of eyeliner I like is this, a brown smoked out kajal first. This will create a smoky base for the liquid eyeliner, and when I layer the liquid liner, my eyes speak to me. Sabrina's features, especially her jawline, is very sharp, so I went very harsh on my contour. I quite literally applied it onto the area where I want sharp shadows, and these shadows will create the illusion of a smaller face and a sharper jawline. The power of contour is unmatched, I'm telling you. Let me know if you want to see an in-depth, very detailed contour routine that I strictly follow. We can all agree that Sabrina's baby doll blush was the it girl makeup trend of this year. When I think of bright pink blush, it's her makeup that comes to my mind. So let's create the same for brown skin. I'll be using 3 types of blush color and formula. Number 1, a baby pink blush on the apples of my cheeks first, and this is the newly launched blush from Nykaa. This is a true baby pink color which will not show up on my entire cheek area. If you are around my skin or deeper, you would know that the complexion on the center of the face is a tad bit lighter compared to the rest of the face, which is deep. The baby pink blush will show up as its true color only on the apples of the cheek where my skin is pale, and if I were to apply it all over my cheek area, either it will not show up or it might look grey. So for the rest of my cheeks, I'll be using a bright plumish magenta color. Any blush with a purple undertone will work. This is the Lakme 9 to 5 Weightless Lip and Cheek Mousse in Rosy Plum. These 2 blushes will be the first layer. Yes, the blush is not very popping like hers. That's because we still have a powder blush to layer at last. After applying the cream blush concoction, I applied a brightening concealer under my eyes and around the mouth area, and also right under the cheekbone so that the blush looks very sharp. I have under eye wrinkles, so I have to set my under eye areas right after applying concealer, loose powder from Maybelline, and I'm gonna mattify and set the face with a fluffy eyeshadow brush. For powder blush, I used a pink blush from Rimmel London. I applied it all over my cheeks. I'm gonna go back to the eyes because we have to finish what we started earlier. Brown smoky kajal on the lower lash line, and I'm smudging it out. I'm applying the same ivory white reflective shimmers on the inner corners. Curled my lashes and I applied individual lashes on the outer half of the eyes. Beige colored kajal on the waterline, which is Miss Carpenter's signature look. Very reminiscent of the 70s era. While applying it on the waterline, I swiftly flick the kajal right below the brown eyeliner. Beige kajal from Mass Cosmetics, and it is smudge proof. It's totally smudge proof. I have this habit of going back with my loose powder one last time, and I do this step right after finishing my eye makeup. In my head, I like to imagine I'm sort of like cleaning up and polishing my makeup for the final look. I think I totally nailed Sabrina's lip combo. We already know the formula by now. It's a mix of warmer and cooler tones. First, I applied a pH lip oil from Rimmel. It's their lip plumping lip oil. Applied a very thin layer and I removed it after 10 seconds, and this will give me that initial layer of pink tint. Lip liner from Fay Beauty Redefine in the shade Borderline. It's a warm toned brown. I went over the lip liner with the same pH lip oil. This will give me that bright, cool toned pink tint on the center while delivering that high shine, glassy, glossy finish. And this is the finished look. What do you guys think about it? Did you like it? Tell me in the comments down below. I'll see you later. Bye guys!